Oh, my goodness. You guys, it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh, and we're here. All right? Do you guys know how big that is? In this county? This is huge. You know, I'm just one person. I never know every day how many people are paying attention. I sit in a box. I look out at that stupid, ugly face. If you watch the show, you know it's in fun. I never know who's listening, but I do know what's in my heart. And what's been going on in our country has been wrong. And so I started speaking out by myself with Brock. We did it in my basement, in the kitchen, outside with my dog trying to kill rabbits, right? And I'm like, this is important. We have a message to share. Because if I'm struggling, if I'm worried, if I'm looking and I'm feeling it, by golly, so are you. Why isn't everybody talking about it? And so we started. And then it grew. And then it really grew. And then it freaked out the people we worked for. And they can suck it. Because what we're trying to do is bigger than me, it's bigger than him, it's bigger than Doug, it's bigger than Carrie. It's us, it's our commonwealth. It's our liberty, it's our freedom, it's our children, it's our safety, it's our everything. It's our parents, it's our schools, it's the streets. I want to tell you one quick story, okay? You guys have heard me talk about Doug forever. Because I care and I know this man. Carrie is absolutely top-notch too. Doug and Rebbie and my husband Joe and I have had time together. Just the four of us. And one night in Gettysburg, after an amazing tour, Doug is about Gettysburg. We were just out having dinner. In fact, you were just getting over a stomach bug and you wanted to die, I think. And you wanted to be there anyway. And you were sitting with us, and my husband had said he was super excited because the next morning we were going to wake up early and we were going to go over to the visitor center at Gettysburg, and he wanted to see this big diorama. Remember? The big thing that they used to have in the 70s when he went on a field trip. And he was telling me, he's like, Wendy, it's the coolest thing. It's like as big as this room, and it's got all these little things on it, and there's music, and there's narration, and it lights up. Oh, it's so cool. And Doug's like, well, it was. And Joe's like, what? And he's like, yeah, it had asbestos, and so they had to take it out and got rid of it. And Joe's like, I'm like, thanks, Doug, that's helpful. So he says, excuse me. I need to make a phone call. And I'm like, all right. So he leaves the room, and he comes back, and he's like, what are you guys doing tomorrow morning, 10:30, 11 o'clock? And I'm like, I don't know, nothing. And he's like, we got a surprise for you. Unbeknownst to Joe, he knew the guy who saved the diorama from the 1970s. It had been like cut into 4 pieces, right? The guy who he knew had gotten it, shipped it to some big warehouse where he had removed the asbestos, put it back together, redid the wiring, all of the little things that lit up with the original sound, the original narration, and he's like, come on, let's go see it. And I'm like, what? What? And Joe's like, what's happening? I'm like, I know, 70s flashback. You're welcome. So up we go, and literally, there it is. They fire up the sound, and I watch my husband go like this. And the flank comes out here, and then these troops are doing that, and it's all lit up, and he was like, he was flat. Doug didn't have to do that. I mean, like, what? You took a man who had a memory from elementary school and you made it happen. You didn't have to do that. See, we're all just one person. But if you've got one person who's got your back, who cares about you, who listens to you, who put his life on the line, on how many different tours for you, you've got possibilities, right? So, is he an honorable man? Of course. He's one of the finest individuals I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He's everything and more. Believe me, if you believe me, help us in this last-minute fight. Get out. Do what you can. Be a poll watcher. Talk to your neighbors. Tell them to stop looking at the television. It's all garbage. Thank God I'm not there anymore. And thank you for supporting Brock and me for what we do, because we're all in this together. Thank you for your love and support. And let's go, Doug for Gov and Carrie! I have to go plan the show now with Brock, so I'm sorry that we're leaving. Don't think that we don't care, but we do. You know I have to go, and I love you, okay? Love you guys.
Thank you, Wendy. Folks, a hand for Wendy Bell. Now, I've told this story before, if you've ever heard me emceeing an event and introducing our next speaker there. When I was first elected to be the Republican chair of Allegheny County back in 2019, someone sends me a Facebook Messenger post. So I look at this, and it's this young lady from Oakmont who says, hey, she says, I'd like to get together with you here because I want to talk about my future. Okay, so we set up a lunch for the following week and meet at the Olive Garden in Greentree. And that's my first exposure to your next Lieutenant Governor, Carrie DelRosso. She comes in, and again, when I say a ball of energy, I'm telling you, we're not California, at least yet, okay? We don't have brownouts here. But if we ever did, all we would have to do is run a plug to Carrie DelRosso, and she'd be light up night all through Allegheny County, okay? But she told me, she said, hey, Sam, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. And she was an Oakmont councilwoman, and she called me a few months later and says, Sam, I know what I want to do. Well, what is it, Carrie? She goes, I'm going to run for state house. And I'm like, are you sure? Because she was facing a giant in Democrat politics, the minority leader in the House, Frank Dermody, who had been there, exactly. Thank goodness he's gone. But he had been there 30 years. And when you're the minority leader, you control the pocketbook for all the money that flows through your caucus. So he had an almost unlimited access to funds. So here's Carrie, first-time candidate, much like David, going up against the Goliath that was Frank Dermody. I don't know how many pairs of shoes she wore out, but that same energy that drew me to her drew so many others to her. She raised $750,000 in that campaign, and she kicked his ass. Please welcome your next Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Carrie DelRosso.
I'm gonna jump around like Wendy a little bit. I gotta tell you, when I was running for a state house and they told us to stay home, well, first of all, talk to my mother. No one ever tells me to stay home. one of the gentlemen from Oakmont challenged me. He said, you're a runner. Can you go run up Pillow Avenue? So I did. And after I ran up Pillow Avenue, I got on the horn with Wendy Bell. I called in and I talked to her. And she said, who are you? And she joked with me. She called me Carrie DelRosso. And I said, hey, Wendy, it's DelRosso, drop the G, but I still make my own sauce. And ever to this day, she's like, I know, drop the G. But she is a force. And look, they did the same thing to me. They try to cut me off at my knees, but you know what? They've got to learn. You cut me off the knees, I'm going to run on my elbows. Because it's not going to stop me. Not going to stop me. Most of the people that are here tonight, if you don't know me, this is my district. This is the 33rd legislative district that I won. And because I beat the Democrat leader, they thought, we're going to take it away from her. Well, you know what? They poked the wrong girl. They poked the wrong girl because I am going to be the lieutenant governor on the ticket with Senator Colonel Doug Mastriano. He's going to be the best governor ever. Ever. So Springdale, if any of you are not from here, Springdale used to be nicknamed, it was called the Power City. There was so much energy coming out of this district. And they shut down the Cheswick Power Plant right when I got elected. And you know what? The energy that I have and the energy that this district produced, all of you tonight, it's so important that you're here. Because this is a district that's so important to this race. Senator Doug Mastriano has been all over the state, and so have I. And what we've been doing is going and talking to the people. Just like I knocked on those 13,000 doors. It's the same concept. The old guard kind of turned their backs on us. Why? Because we don't want to be part of that. We don't want to be career politicians. We are for the working people. We care about crime. We care about transparency. We care about educating our kids so they're learning the right things. I have 3 kids. My 2 boys were actually at football tonight. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm an Oakmont mom. My kids go to Riverview School District. I'm very proud of that. I got some Riverviews back there. So every single year, the Riverview Alumni Association, the football boosters, have a golf outing. So every year, it was Dermody's job to buy the T-shirts. He'd send the money, he'd buy the T-shirts, he'd put his name on the back of the T-shirts. Well, the Republican wins the district, so the Republican gets called. Will you sponsor the T-shirts? Said, absolutely. Send what you want on the back. So I send the Mastriano DelRosso logo. Oh, it gets better. And I hope all you Springdale people listen to this, because this is good. Because I'm a total football mom, too. So the T-shirts get to the golf outing, and everyone starts losing their mind. Oh my gosh, a Republican on the back of the T-shirts. So I get a phone call, and then I get a text message, and then the emails start coming out that we cannot sponsor, politicians cannot sponsor T-shirts. I said, for the last 29 years, they've had Frank Dermody on the back of them. So they took the T-shirts, and they pushed them aside. They wouldn't give them out. So I've been contacted by some people. Am I going to file a discrimination case? I said, no, I'm just going to win. Because when I win, I'm going to wear them to the school board meeting. Doug, I am so proud to be on this ticket with you. I told my son jokes about it because my son's like, Ma, look, I got the shirt on. My kids wear them around. And there are people at Riverview that have said, I'll give you $20 for that shirt. And they show up at the games and people are like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? It's like, go see Carrie DelRosso. Look, it's tough being in a Democrat district and being a Republican. It really is. They've censored us, they've silenced us. They've told us we're not allowed to show up at school board meetings and talk. But what they keep doing is poking the wrong bear. And that's exactly why Doug and I are going to win. 'Cause we don't stand for it. You know, the more I'm on this trail with Doug and the more energy that we produce together, me, him, Rebbie, his beautiful, awesome wife, everyone give it up for Rebbie because and she sang the national anthem next to me. She's got an excellent voice. You do. I'm like, wow. Look, you know, here's the thing. Women supporting women is a big deal right now. Women that are kicking people down. I mean, my office is right down the street. I've got a couple hacks from Oakmont on Facebook all the time just whacking me. And I'm laughing. I'm like, boy, they wake up and they think about me. They're mad. You know why they're mad? Because we keep winning. We keep winning because we're on the right side of it. We are the light at the end of this tunnel, everybody. We are. We've got 25 days left. Every morning I wake up from now until November 8th, I'm posting about something I'm thankful for. But what I'm most thankful for is that I ended up on this ticket with Doug Mastriano. He is a leader, served our country, was overseas, kicking butt over there, comes back here and sees what's going on and says, someone tell him do something about it. So he gets activated like I get activated. Well gosh, I gotta do something about this. They're silencing us. He will be the best governor because he's not gonna take anybody's nonsense. He's gonna make sure that he draws the line and not toes the line. He will be what Pennsylvania needs. Because you know what? Trump's right. It's a swamp. Really is. It's a bigger swamp than you think. Because when you get in it and you start swimming, you think, oh no. And I couldn't be happier to be swimming with you. Because we're going to just push right through it. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I'm a mom, so I've watched, Finding Nemo how many times? I will tell you this. We have been all over the place, though, and we have fun. These 25 days, every day we're picking up votes. We're having fun. And I'm going to say it again, just like everyone said. Call 10 people. Call 20 people. Every morning, text. Let somebody know. If they're not registered to vote, get them registered to vote. It's very quick to do it online. I don't know if we have a sign-up sheet in the back. Sign up to knock the doors. There's a door knock every Saturday now until November the 8th. Make sure you tell people. Take yard signs, put them out. It scares the heck out of them. Especially, you don't think they're scared seeing all these cars in Springdale? The Harmer House is probably down there going, oh my gosh, what are we doing? What are they doing down there? All these people, all these Republicans are invading Springdale. I love it. Love it. Well, I'll leave you with this. They did an interview with me on ABC 27, and I was excited to do the interview and talk about how much I think Doug's awesome. And they buried it. They buried it. He is the most wonderful person. He supports women. He treats me better than any other politician up in Harrisburg. So, I'm thrilled to be on this ticket with him. And just know this, that after November 8th, I will still be back in this district because I'm going to still live here, and I'm going to still protect the Allegheny Valley like you wouldn't believe. So if you haven't heard me tell this story yet, I'm going to tell it again. we went to the Trump rally, and Doug gets up on stage. There's 12,000 people, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." So I'm driving home that night, and I look at Joe and I say, "Who says oh yeah?" So Google, who's oh yeah? He's like, "The Kool-Aid Man." Breaking through the bricks, breaking it down. Oh yeah. Doug is the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Everyone welcome your next governor, the Kool-Aid Man, Doug Mastriano, and his beautiful wife, Rebbie. What? Oh.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be knocking down walls just like we're knocking on doors. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, District 33 here, and also I'm the senator of District 33 on the other side. I think a little divine providence there. 33's in the house. Come on. But it's been some crazy times here. But between Rebbie and I covering the state and Carrie covering the state here, we're maximizing. I mean, it's fantastic. Josh appears rarely with his lieutenant governor candidate. You look in their faces, they like dislike each other, maybe disdain for each other. I don't know what's going on there, but we're thankful for you. I mean, Mastriano and DelRosso, Mamma Mia. Come on. We're going to make spaghetti great again in Pennsylvania. With some special DelRosso sauce, right? Not DelRosso. We'll take that too, though. It's a crazy time in the world, though. We saw Giorgia Meloni over in Italia, taking back the government there. We saw Sweden is also moving in the right direction. I mean, something's happening. And Pennsylvania, it's our time. It's our time. We've settled for failed politicians and failed politics way too long. What do you think, huh? All those empty promises and hollow words, and then just talk is cheap. Just do your jobs. This old colonel wanted to ride off into the sunset, like Carrie mentioned. I could have. I had a better paying job lined up with foreign travel, in a position where I'd still be respected, not dragged through the mud and lied about by some snake politician. Groomed. We need to stop that guy in his tracks. Just say no to Shapiro, right? He posted on Twitter a few months ago, I'd like to thank all the veterans out there, who paid a debt we can never repay, and that's true. And then I responded with a picture of myself in my colonel uniform, like, I'm waiting for your thanks, Josh. Nothing. Crickets. That was probably the best troll I've done in my lifetime. It was great. The guy walks right into it, though. He thinks the people of Pennsylvania are as dumb as he is. No, we're not, Josh. We've woken up here. When you guys kicked us in the teeth in 2020 by stripping away our God-given rights, he stood aside. He's complicit. He stood against every family member, every parent, every business owner, every employee, every son and daughter, every student. And we'll talk about that in a second here. But, the guy is washed up. And the polls are fantastic. I mean, look at Trafalgar. They have us in a statistical dead heat. That's the only A-rated poll out there, by the way. Yep.
No, you go for it.
The Democrats see how important Pennsylvania is. They do. I admire they see that the road to the White House goes right through Pennsylvania this year. They get it. And they do. Sadly, our side doesn't get it. Our side's playing games, the establishment types, same old stuff. They've given him like $30 or $40 million. $40 million have come into his coffers. And still he can't break away from me because he's a complete incompetent failure. That's right. And he won't debate me. I even promised to give him a box to stand on. It's okay. People won't know. People won't know, Josh. We won't film down below your waist. It's okay. It's all right. And then we see his bombastic attitude out there and speaking nonsense. Will you address his latest allegation of bigotry or hate? Are you kidding me? It says in Proverbs, answer not a fool in his folly, right? I'm not going to respond to his nonsense. He's actually the bigot. He hates people that he disagrees with, right? There's no tolerance. Who in their right mind sues the little sisters of the poor? Are you kidding me? Suing nuns? Lightning bolts? I'm not going to do that. And he sued them over a religious issue. For some reason, he is waging war against the Catholic Church. I don't know what his beef is there, but he's too dangerous for Pennsylvania. On our side here, and the veterans, thank you for your service, and thank you, airborne, cool. Today is the birthday of the United States Navy. Give it up for the sailors in the house. Go Navy. My favorite sailor is my dad, 22 years United States Navy. And he was the guy that inspired me. He was a high school dropout, got in trouble with the law, and a judge and probably a kindly law enforcement officer was like, you know what, this guy just needs a little discipline. So the judge offered him, either you go to jail or join the Navy. And my dad used to say, Doug, I was a punk until I joined the Navy. And it gave him discipline. It transformed him into one of the most patriotic people I ever met, one of the hardest working men that I ever knew. And it turned him into a great family man as well. In the 70s, it wasn't cool to stand for the flag. He'd be the only one standing upright, not caring about the mockery. Yeah, it's true. But sadly, in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia, lost souls potentially like my dad aren't given a second chance. They're finding fentanyl on the streets and dying because of one stupid choice, one bad choice. We all make stupid choices and do stupid things in life. And I don't believe that should be happening. We have an attorney general that's incompetent. He's a failure. He's unfit to serve. He's unfit for office. He's got one job, to uphold the rule of law in the state. Josh Shapiro has been given many opportunities over the past several years, 6 years in total, but especially during the shutdown. He's been given multiple opportunities to do the right thing. And every single time has consistently chose to do the wrong thing, to violate your constitutional rights. It's true. And so that the choice could not be clearer or starker. We are polar opposites. He admitted during an interview in Philadelphia with an NBC affiliate, so Mr. Shapiro, how are you going to be different than Tom Wolfe? And he's like, well, I'm a different person than him, but I'm really more different than Doug Mastriano. I'm like, that's right, little guy. You sure are. You sure are. So Josh, it's time to debate me. Either man up or shut up. What do you think? Right? That's right. He's a loyal son of the Democrat Party because they got their marching orders in Arizona not to debate. They got their orders in Maryland not to debate, and in Michigan and Wisconsin, they're hiding. So call your opponent lots of names and don't be on the same floor as them because I'll mop him, I'll smoke him like a bad cigar. It's going to be beautiful. So Rebbie and I, we're in this fight for you. I'm looking around the room here, lots of new faces. Some folks out there, though, that were appealing to Rebbie and I,
So there's quite a few familiar faces out there as well that appealed to us time and time again over the past couple years for Doug to run for governor. So, yeah, so you all know why we're doing it. It's not anything about us. It's about you all, and it's about what's going on for our future, and it's about remembering the sacrifices from the past. Doug's service, my family's service. My grandpa was in World War I. And, with all the veterans, all the things that you put on hold, your lives that you put at risk, to be willing to sacrifice that much, right? We cannot, this is a great, great Commonwealth, a great state. We cannot let it go. We can't. So here we are.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's time. It's time to bring common sense to the Commonwealth. What do you think? It's well past time. And we remember the acrimonious Wolf and Shapiro standing aside. You know, all the cabinet shops in the states closed except Wolf Industries in New York County. I mean, Josh Shapiro sounds like a job for the Attorney General. Oh, nope, didn't do anything. Your kids are masked up in violations, and there's no science to back it up. We pointed out in the Education Committee that I'm a member of. Asked the Secretary of Education. I don't do stump the chump questions. So how many students are in Pennsylvania schools? Oh, I don't know, Senator. Are you kidding me? Dude, you know, quote from Donald Trump, you're fired. You know? Wish I could have done that. And then when he gave me a number, it was wrong. It's 1.7 million. And how many, statistically, 0.00008% of the student population, tragically died from COVID. Oh, is that like a, similar year for flu? Oh, yeah, but. And so Josh Shapiro could have been a hero, could have been a champion, and he consistently refused to do anything that would benefit the people of the state, but only that would benefit him and his political party. He loves his party more than people. He loves politics more than people. It's true. And so if you have anyone out there still gullible enough to believe those stupid commercials, please talk some sense into them. You can change their minds. Remind them. You think about Wolf and the shutdown. What a tragedy that was. His essential, non-essential list. Are you kidding me? Since when in America has a governor ever had the power to shut you down? And I'm like, so Governor, how are these people going to collect how are they going to pay their bills? Oh, they'll get unemployment. I'm like, are you aware that they're ineligible, business owners are ineligible to collect unemployment? Oh, it took them 100 days to fix that. Governor, why were you only open from your unemployment office only open from 8 to 8? Why does 24/7 operations? Took them 3 months to get that. I mean, they didn't care about your suffering. They turned their back on you. They did. Josh Shapiro was there with a knife in his hand. He didn't care about you. Remind your neighbors of what you've gone through. Josh Shapiro is complicit. He's part of the problem. Actually, he is the problem. It's, if that was a Republican governor and wielding those kind of violations of your constitutional God-given rights, I mean, there would have been heck to pay. But since it was a Democrat, Josh Shapiro defended Levine. Anyone miss Levine? Want to talk about the event in Harrisburg?
So there was a Levine sighting in Harrisburg the other day. Apparently he was invited to the governor's mansion for the Distinguished Daughters of Pennsylvania luncheon. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Restore common sense to the Commonwealth. Follow the science. We remember that rodeo. Restaurant owners. If you're blessed enough to have a liquor's license, pay a small fortune to get that. That needs to be reformed, by the way. It does. Something really wrong there. And then if I violate these edicts, will I lose my liquor license and destroy my business and my life? And that's exactly it. Too many licenses out there, too much control, too many bureaucrats. Governor Wolf finally came up with a resolution on whether you can have adult beverage or not, and he resolved it following the science. The science said you can drink a beer with food only until 10 o'clock. Remember that? You remember that? And then literally a week later, the science was different. It goes, okay, you can drink until 11 o'clock, but only with food. But after 11 o'clock, you're dead even with food. I'm like, man, that's very scientific. Before we would go into a restaurant in the lobby when they're finally sort of opened up again, very oppressive. And you're in the lobby, put that mask on. I felt like I was in Afghanistan, get ready to do a combat mission. Okay, team. When we get the clearance in the restaurant, make a dash for that chair, sit down, take the mask off, and COVID will pass over you magically. You remember that? It's true. And I always, and Governor Wolf is out there fear-mongering, stay home, stay calm, and stay safe. I'm like, dude, we're Pennsylvanians. You kidding me? We're the seat of the nation. We don't, anyway. Well, something went wrong there. And I always imagine in the restaurants, COVID's on the shelf. He warned us, COVID's going to get you. I'm like, yeah, COVID's on the shelf over there. When Doug goes to the bathroom, I'm going to get him. He's going to forget his mask. I'm going to jump him there and get him then. The science wasn't there. Even to this day, you still see people occasionally on the highway alone in their cars with a mask on. And usually you'll see a Biden or Shapiro sticker on the back. It's like, yep, I knew it. Talk about Nancy Pelosi. Remember Nancy Pelosi? All the salons closed. Except one special for her in San Francisco, walking around without a mask on after lecturing us about wearing masks. And like I often like to say, one of my friends said, Doug, go easy on Nancy. She thought she was in a saloon, not a salon. I'm like, yep.
So we're traveling the state, and we're very much obviously focused on you all and what's going on the campaign trail. And sometimes we're pretty fatigued. And one night, I just happened to be thinking a little bit on the bigger picture, and I said to Doug, I said, so is no one suing Nancy Pelosi? Like, why is she getting away with all this? And he says to me, no, I don't think anyone is, but let me research it. So he's looking on his phone, and all of a sudden his eyes get big, and he looks at me and he says, someone is suing her. It's me.
This is the best way you see Italian names together, Mastriano and DelRosso. But it sure did look good, Mastriano versus Pelosi. I'm like, oh yeah. Coming for you, Nancy. But the Democrats, of course, their playbook is name calling. That's what they do best, And no, don't waste your time. No, Doug's not that. I mean, I've been called so many things by these losers on the left. It's laughable. They actually, one of these clowns had like 8 different phobias. Doug is a this phobe, that phobe. I'm like, wow, you're making up phobes there. The idea that an Army colonel with top secret access for 30 years would have it just defies reason, and have it coming out of the mouth of some petulant little guy in the suburbs outside of Philly who's never wanted for anything. His biggest sacrifice for his country, I think, was one day in the country club he had burnt avocado toast. Maybe. Could be. But they claim to be champions of women's rights. What utter nonsense. And to break it down for us, of course, Rebbie's going to take us home.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you haven't figured it out, Doug is my hero taking on Nancy Pelosi, so. Woo! So, of course, when there's nothing to run on, you call names to other people, and one thing they say about us as conservatives, because it's not just Doug, it's us as conservatives, is that we don't believe in women's rights, and that's baloney. First off, we believe in a woman's right to be born. Oh, yeah. That's right. We believe in a woman's right to have a say in her child's education. We believe in a woman's right to have access to baby formula and to affordable groceries for her family. And we believe in a woman's right to raise a child in a safe community where the government enforces the law and prosecutes crime. Oh, yeah. And it's a woman's right to live in a nation with a secure border. Oh, yeah. And it's a woman's right to the First Amendment. Oh, yeah. And we are Pennsylvanians after all. It's a woman's right to the Second Amendment as well. And it's a woman's right to compete in sports that are not dominated by men. So they've made a mistake. They have stirred up the mama bears of Pennsylvania and the grandma bears, right? We're all stirred up, and they're going to be sorry for that on November 8th. There they are. Mm-hmm. So, ladies, please be sure to share how we're being canceled, how they're taking from us everything that we are. And so we're not going to put up with it, and the more we share that, the more that we're going to take it back in a larger margin, which we know we have to do because of the cheating, right? So we know we have to, we have to get everybody out. Now, you all in here have heard us speak, and you're going to hear Doug finish up here. So you'll be able to talk on exactly what it is he believes, and you're going to be the experts that are able to go out into your neighborhoods and to make a difference. And just so you know, last week across Pennsylvania, our volunteers, this is volunteers only, our volunteers were able to knock on over 17,000 doors across this great state. Many of you are in this room. You guys rock. You really do. You really do. Give yourselves an applause. Woo!
We are so excited and thankful to be in this fight together with you guys. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, this movement that's going across the state of Pennsylvania. It's incredible. It really is. You know, the media is doing all it can to try to mislead you with lies and deception, you know, sputtering campaign. I mean, Josh Shapiro goes to events and he can't draw flies. It's fantastic. They got to crop the picture, you know, and, oh, there's 12 people there. Wow, that's great, Josh. We would have... When we finished up our 67 county tour up in the northern part of the state and in the southeast, when we would stop in Tioga County, this is very rural towards the New York border, in the middle of the day, and I'm like thinking, you know, Tioga, Cameron, Sullivan, Potter, it's going to be hard to get people because everyone's working. They're Republicans, you know. We're not kind of hanging off playing video games. And I'm like thinking, yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard, maybe 50 people. We'll go there. There'll be 500 people in the room in the middle of the day. I mean, I'm just shocked by what we see. It's all posted online. We do lives everywhere. We try to sweep, you know, the audience if we can, and you can see it for yourself. And so the media is in the pocket, sadly. They're compromised. The left-wing media is compromised, and they'll lie, and they have been lying. You know, have they ever apologized for the whole thing with Russia collusion? It turned out to be a fraud. And they think we should take their word for things anymore, take them seriously? Are you kidding me? If anyone does, I got a bridge to sell you over in Brooklyn, right? Cheap, special friend prices, my Afghan friends used to say. Afghanistan, oh my gosh. Any other Afghan vets in here, if I can see your hands? All right, thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. We got about half a dozen Afghan veterans. That just like ripped the heart out of us when that happened last August. Oh my gosh. It gives us a small glimpse into the Vietnam era veterans that saw Saigon in 75, a small glimpse into that. Tragic horror. What a waste. What a complete waste. We got incompetence. And Josh Shapiro, he's cut of the same cloth as Joe Biden. There's no difference. Other than, you know, one has a little bit more cognitive ability, but not as smart, I'd say. Anyway. And we watch, you know, and we're watching what's going on in the Senate race. Are you kidding me? You know, NBC, oh, we gave him a monitor. He's having trouble processing. If that was a Republican, this guy's unfit for office. He needs to resign. I'm old enough to remember 1984 when Mondale was running against Ronald Reagan, and they're questioning Ronald Reagan. You know, when you leave office, you're going to be 78 years old. Do you think you need to just step aside? Joe Biden didn't come in office until 70. Are you kidding me? The double standards and duplicity, don't take them seriously. Laugh at them. I mean, really. How do you take them seriously? That they can sit there with a straight face. Well, you know, a U.S. federal senator, one of the 100 most powerful people in the nation, and they're going to vote on whether sending, you know, our sons and daughters off to war, and the guy can't communicate, can't debate on the floor of the Senate. This is not even. And Josh Shapiro is far worse. He has his cognitive abilities and is a complete incompetent individual. I would have fired him. I'd have kicked him out of the Army for being incompetent and give him a menial job kind of thing. Go away, Josh. But Josh Shapiro's record as the AG, I'm going to go through rapid fire here. As the AG, he's got a record that he's not running on, and the media is covering for him. So I have to lay out these facts for you since the media is not doing its job. And this is not spearing. This is facts. John Adams, our second president, said facts are stubborn things. So let me give you some ammunition here. Metaphorically speaking, liberals, Shakespeare used metaphors. I'm using metaphors. I'm no Shakespeare. Josh Shapiro, crime has gone up almost 40% since he's been in office. That alone disqualifies him from any public position. We're the 12th highest in the nation on homicides. Philadelphia is on a record approaching 600. It's 414 right now. Last count, can't keep track. When he came in office, 277 homicides. I believe there was 562 last year. It's going to break 600, sadly. As Sam rightly said, about 1,000 carjackings in Philadelphia alone. And the safe areas of Philly, like Mayfair, the Wawa, that's normally a nice area of Philly. 30 ruffians, punks showing up, and not one arrested. Thank you, Josh. Once again, law and disorder. We saw what happened in Roxborough after a football game 2 weeks ago, a shooting after a scrimmage, and also safe area of Philly. Rebbie and I, without cameras, because I don't do stunts. People always want me to do stunts. I'm like, no, I don't do that. But we went to Kensington without cameras, without news coverage. We wanted to see for ourselves.
So in Kensington, it was very heartbreaking. And the thing that impacted me the most were the women that we spoke with that are trying to raise their families in that environment. And one of them is a grandma who is raising her 5 grandchildren alone. And she said they know the difference between a firecracker and a gunshot, and they have strict way that they deal with that. They have to go up on the second floor and lay flat because they never know when a stray bullet might come in. And somebody was actually, a homeless guy was shot, and they left the remains. They took the body, but the part, what was spewed on the sidewalk, the kids were walking through it for over a week, and they were calling over and over again, please send someone to clean this up, because it was directly on the same side of the street as a playground. So it should never, ever, ever be that way, and our police should never, ever, ever have to deal with such atrocity without having what they need to get the job done.
Yep, that's right. Yep. 4th highest in fentanyl deaths in the nation. This community has suffered losses. You have lost family members and friends to fentanyl because of maybe one bad choice or stuck in a cycle of addiction. And Josh Shapiro and the Wolf administration, they think that the state should not work with faith groups that are helping people out of addiction. And I've been speaking with many of them in Philadelphia, in fact, and they claim they have a 70% recovery rate in the faith-based programs. But since it's religious affiliated, Josh Shapiro and Wolf are saying no. The state programs, I'm told, only have a 30% success rate. We need to take the bonds and this political correctness off of our shoulders and arms and do whatever we can. Yep. We need to help people and stop playing games and playing politics. And Josh Shapiro is a master of politics because he's a consummate politician. He's ignoring sex trafficking going on in our towns, even here. Rebbie helped a lady out in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Sex slave for 2 years, kidnapped out of her country. I'll tell you what, day one, we're going to create a sex trafficking task force. We're going to go to war. We're going to go to war. I'm disgusted by this happening in our towns and cities, and we're going to go to war and break the backs of these evil people here, torturing women mostly, and it's going to end. It's going to end. And law enforcement, I'll be looking to you for help on that. Josh Shapiro wants to roll the clock back 50 years on women's rights. Let me demonstrate why. And Carrie can tell you that this bill came out of the House. It was a bill to protect women athletes from male domination. Josh Shapiro thought this bill that would prohibit boys from stealing opportunities and scholarships from female athletes here was a terrible idea. And he rejoiced when the governor vetoed it. Are you kidding me? You know it's bad in Pennsylvania when Doug Mastriano sounded more radical and more feminist than any Democrat did. It's true. I actually stopped in the middle of my remarks. We need to end male domination of sports, of female sports, and end the patriarchy dominate. I'm like, wow. And I stopped in mid-remarks, and I looked over to the Democrats, like, where are the feminists? They weren't there. All the Democrats voted against that bill, I believe, except one. They don't care about women's rights. Josh Shapiro is like, I stand with the trans community, and it's a great day that this was vetoed. Well, what about the almost 1 million females in our schools across the state? And what about the female athletes? Yep. We watched Thomas at the Penn State University, stealing away opportunities for female athletes there. It wasn't fair. And what the one lady from Kentucky that came in second, she's very outspoken. She's like, I'll never be stronger than him. And that's a fact. There's actually the fastest females on the face of the earth can be beat by some of the male athletes in high school. There's a difference. And Josh Shapiro thinks the science-denying tomfoolery is okay. I disagree. Josh Shapiro is against school choice. Now, apparently, it makes me, a bigot that I point out the fact that he believes in school choice for himself because he can afford it. And so I'm getting hammered on that. I'm like, just shut up, stop it. But what about your kids? You're paying $20,000 a year per student in the state here. Why can't you have school choice? Just because some rich guy, outside of Philly can afford it. What about the investment you're paying in taxes and property taxes? Oh man, property taxes. So no, they're not. They can call all the names they want. We're going to speak truth to power. It's true. Josh Shapiro sued to keep your kids in mass. He did last year. It took a mom in Chester County that we had speak at a rally outside of Philly a couple weeks ago. She actually countersued him and beat him in court and got the kids unmasked. Yep. Once again, he could have defended children, stood with parents, but every time he's given the opportunity, he does the wrong thing. He does. He sued. Yeah, Sleepy Joe. They're cut of the same cloth. Josh Shapiro sued to keep your business shut down, sued the nuns I talked about already. What about the lockdowns when Levine denied science and sent the sick back into homes, leaving you cut off from your loved ones for 400 days? Oh, well, Levine's mom's special. Oh, that was a bad idea. Smuggle mom out, drop mom off in the Hershey Suites, visit mom anytime I want to, Levine. Well, Shapiro, what did he do? He investigated the homes that were directed to take the sick back. This guy, he really is not a friend of your constitutional rights or of common sense. So let's go right to my initiatives here as I wrap it up here. So on day one, you're going to see a renaissance of our economy. It's going to be a new day in PA because, oh yeah, it's going to be beautiful. This is how sick the Democrats and the media are. So now if you raise your hand in a certain way, they're gonna accuse you, of being some kind of Nazi or something. These people are lunatics. So when I just put my hand up in the air, that's a thought. Oh, there's gonna be. Come on. So now we'll see a little meme there. These people are sick. They're diabolical. They're evil. They lie. Just like. Anyway, I'll stop there. On day one. On day one, we're out of the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. We're going to drill and dig. Oh, we're going to drill and dig. We're going to be producing freedom gas, shipping it around the world, bringing hundreds of millions of dollars here. You'll see some beautiful, high-paying jobs coming to the community. I mean, this is not hard. Go to the Doug Mastriano's Pennsylvania Energy Independence Act to read the details. I have it all laid out. I developed this plan actually with the energy sector. We're going to develop our freedom gas. We're going to develop our coal. We're going to develop our oil, and we're going to push it out, and our allies and the world will be safer. That's right. Oh, yeah. I got my eye on a pipeline from here to Philly so we could export it to the Delaware River, to the Atlantic Ocean, to the Germans so they can get off of Russian oil and gas. They're spending $2 billion a month. Germany's so proud that we just gave $2 billion to the Ukrainians for fighting against, Putin. But you guys are paying $2 billion a month in energy. Are you kidding me? How about buying it off of Pennsylvania? We'll take your euros. That's right. Another pipeline up to Erie. This will take a bit longer to do, but we're going to bring wealth and prosperity here, jobs, and it's going to be fantastic. And I think Pennsylvania, as a keystone state, we're going to lead the nation out of this darkness economically and culturally. We're going to lead the way. It's true. We're going to do it. On day one and done, all masking and jab requirements will be over forever in Pennsylvania. Yes. On day one, woke is broke in PA. On day one, critical race theory banned from the classroom. On day one, no more sexualization of our elementary ed kids. That's right. Yes. On day one, no more pronoun games in the classroom as well. Gender transition surgeries will be prohibited for minors. Yep. Graphic pornographic books will be banned from the elementary schools as well. We're going to reaffirm parental rights. That I even have to say that shows you how bad we've gone. I mean, come on. Come on, man, Joe Biden. I'll be directing my new excellent Secretary of Education that all the schools have to post their curriculum online for parental review. Yep. Yes, I do. We love the teachers in Pennsylvania. You know, $20,000 per student per year, only a third of that money makes it to the classroom. And this is why our excellent teachers, those that love the students and doing it for all the right reasons here, have to go out and buy supplies because there's so much overhead and administration, you know, all those other costs. The union, no friend of mine. On day one, there'll be no more boys on the girls' team. Yep. Josh Shapiro fought really hard to get boys in the girls' bathroom, and he even sued Virginia. This time last year, he sued an amicus against the people of Virginia after winning in Pennsylvania. This time last year in Loudoun County, a 15-year-old girl was raped by a pervert boy hanging out in the girls' bathroom in a public school. This time last year, the Loudoun County School Board tried to cover it up down in Virginia. Thank you, Shapiro. And then this time last year, the dad confronted the school board and was hauled out in handcuffs. That's life under Josh Shapiro. He's too dangerous and too radical for our state. What do you think? Yep. So on day one, there'll be no more boys in the girls' bathroom. We're going to be a law and order state. Number one, there's going to be a cultural shift in the state here. We will not entertain this tomfoolery of defunding the police or BLM or Antifa. That's right. I'll have the backs of our law enforcement like you haven't seen ever before. And I'll make sure, working with the General Assembly, you have the resources and the assets and manning needed to get the job done. I'll be working with the General Assembly here. Well, first off, this cashless bail stuff has to end. This is nonsense. Yeah. Needs to end. I'll be issuing a policy in the next couple of days here so you can delineate exactly what I'm going to do. But I'll be working with the General Assembly to have authorizations to search special prosecutors in the high crime areas in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia to restore law and order. Yep. We're one of the most heavily regulated people in the nation. There's 153,000 state regulations. First 100 days, we're going to go underneath 100,000, and I'm going to sign into law that excellent bill out of the House or Senate. There's mirror versions of it, where every new regulation, too, have to go away, and we're going to beat the bureaucrats. Yep. Ronald Reagan was right when he said the scariest words you'll hear in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." You remember that? He's right. You saw that during the shutdown if you're a business owner. Oh, here comes the inspectors with the little clipboards. We're going to disarm and defang them. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to be open for business. School choice is an absolute must. They'll be fighting like heck for that. Yep. Election integrity. Oh, man. Election integrity. I see Karen here from Audit the Vote. She's a champion. Give it up. That's one of the mama bears Rebbie is talking about there. Look out. We're gonna start with voter ID, but there's a whole long list of things we need to do. A whole list. Remember who we are. We're Pennsylvania. We are the Keystone State. We are the birthplace of our nation. We have been given the promise, a special blessing by God, because from us, out of the heart of William Penn, came a great nation, the greatest nation on the face of the earth, a nation dedicated to people's freedoms that are God-given and not granted by a king or a governor or a president. A nation formed in the concept of liberty and freedom, a nation that set other men and women free. Liberated Europe twice from tyranny in 1918 and Nazism in 1945, and the only land we kept in Europe was to bury our dead. What nation has ever done that before? Losing our men and women on foreign battlefields and not keeping anything for ourselves. This place is very special. An entire generation of Europeans had not known war thanks to the United States of America. And our dedication and our sacrifice, the longest peace they've had since the Roman Empire, that's a fact. That's America. That's this great, beautiful nation. We're watching the dream, though, being flushed down the toilet by people like Shapiro and Wolf and Biden. We're watching the dream. We're on the cusp of having our kids and grandkids grow up in an environment where they do not have the same freedoms as us. We're on the cusp of being bullied and silenced and shut up and canceled because of our opinions. It's time to be bold and courageous. Don't shy in the face of this darkness here. I agree with Ronald Reagan when he says America's days are yet to come. Pennsylvania, oh yes it is. We are the seed of a nation where the light of liberty was lit in Pennsylvania in 1776, a new birth of freedom in Pennsylvania in 1863. Todd Beamer's famous counterattack, let's roll, on 2001 9/11. But that new birth of freedom here, we're going to really achieve it in our lifetime. It begins right here in Pennsylvania. It begins right here with you on this day, on this hour. This is our moment. This is our time. It is. Oh, it is. So walk with bold and courageous thoughts in your mind. Walk with a positive, joyful attitude here. Yes, the darkness is thick, and yes, the forces arrayed against us here are plentiful. But there is more for us than are with him. We stand on the right side. We stand on the side of righteousness and freedom, and all the ideals of our founding fathers, and all the ideals of those who gave the last full measure of devotion. My last thought is in Gettysburg, 1863, November 19th, when Abraham Lincoln gave his address, he said 7 years ago, bring us back with our history to 1776. And then he honored those who gave the last full measure of devotion. But his thought, his transition that echoes across the generations to us here today is when he said, rather, after remembering our history, after honoring the dead, never forgetting them, then he goes, rather, it is for us. Rather, it is for us, the living, to be dedicated to the unfinished work. Pennsylvania, let's finish this work. Let's defend our freedoms. Let's take back our state and have a new birth of freedom. Thank you, and God bless you. We owe it to our kids and grandkids to have Pennsylvania remain free.